Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, thanks for stopping by, and if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back to watch another video. It is so good to have you here with me again today. So if you missed my last video, I do have an announcement to share. I am pregnant and expecting my 4th child, so later on this year I will be becoming a mother of 4, which is absolutely insane but equally very exciting. So definitely in terms of what I've been up to over the last 6 months since I've been away, watch that video, which I'll link up here or up there, I can't remember where the thing goes now, but watch that video and that will kind of bring you up to speed as to where I've been and the plans for this channel moving forward. But today's video is going to be a slightly different concept. I just thought to ease myself back into the content creation, I'll do a little Q&A. So what I did over on my Instagram stories was I put a question box for people to submit random questions for me to ask, and maybe off the back of today's video, once you hear the questions that people have asked, it might prompt you to want to ask further questions, in which case leave them in the comment section below or just request part 2, and then I can do the question box again for you to submit further questions for me to get into. So if you're not following me on Instagram, definitely do head over to the link in my bio, link in the description box below, and follow me over on Instagram at Pong, because yes, I haven't been regular on YouTube, but on Instagram since the beginning of the year I've been posting literally almost every day, and definitely every day in February at least. My plan is to hopefully continue to do this throughout the rest of the year, so definitely in terms of more frequent and regular consistent updates, Instagram is the place to be. Okay, so now to dive into the questions that got submitted on Instagram. When I'm looking down, it's because I'm reading the questions off my phone. I've added them all to Google Keep and I'm just reading them through and going through them one by one. Okay, so the first question says, will you be planning your summer holidays on a budget for the kids again? And yes, the answer to that question is absolutely. I didn't think I even shared that on YouTube. Okay, so I'm clearly suffering from a mild case of baby brain, because as you can see, I did do a video last year sharing my budget for the summer holidays, so I will also be doing one for 2023, so watch this space. But I definitely will be sharing that or more of that content this year. So my plans for the summer holidays, how I'm doing it on a budget, and sinking funds that you can create in order to save money for the summer holidays, all that kind of stuff. Yes, it's definitely going to be coming in the near future. So just watch this space, and if you haven't yet subscribed, of course, hit that subscribe button. It's not costing you a penny, but it definitely means a lot to my channel. Okay, so the next question says, how do you plan to cope with time off work for the pregnancy and the cost of living crisis? Yeah, listen, this is one that I'm gonna need a lot of prayer and fasting, because I don't know. No, actually, let me think about my answer a bit more succinctly. How am I gonna cope with the time off from work? So yes, we have already started putting a contingency budget in place. So we've basically been living off of a bare bones budget for the past few months in preparation for this new arrival. And if you don't know what a bare bones budget is, it's essentially where you focus on your needs and prioritize your needs in the budget, and then all additional money kind of goes towards an emergency fund, and in which case, or in our case, it's going towards the baby fund basically. That's how we've been financially preparing, because I'm about to go on maternity leave, and unfortunately I only get statutory maternity pay. Now if you're based in the UK, you would understand what statutory maternity pay is. It's basically the bare bones your employer can get away with paying you, and in fact it's the government that pays your employer on your behalf kind of thing. Those of you watching from the US, I'm not sure what your equivalent is, but in the UK you can get an enhanced maternity pay, which is where your employer is a bit more gracious and gives you a top up in addition to the government pay. But some employers like mine just give you the statutory pay, which is literally peanuts. So yeah, you need to kind of think of a contingency plan, otherwise yeah, your expenses can spiral out of control. So if you take cost of living crisis and statutory maternity pay and marry the two together, you can quickly see why side hustling is an important thing for me this year, because yeah, I cannot just be surviving on that low income, unfortunately, in these economic times. So that's something, again, I'll be focusing on a lot more in 2023. If you watched my last video, you'll know I spoke about it, and if you haven't, like I said, I'll link it somewhere on this screen and you can go back and watch it. What can we expect from your YouTube channel in 2023? Again, I covered this a lot in my last video, but for the sake of you that are watching this video, I'm not trying to get you to come off of the video, so I can paraphrase my plans. It's going to be loads of content all around personal finance, budgeting, ways to survive the cost of living crisis, how I'm planning to survive it while on maternity leave. I'm going to be taking you guys out with me a lot more, so I'll be vlogging a lot of the events that I speak at and that I attend in the personal finance space. So I think the vlog style content you guys enjoy. I say you guys enjoy, I've probably done like 1 or 2, but they seem to get good reception, so I'm gonna continue to do more of that content this year. How I'm gonna do it with a newborn baby is still to be uncovered, but that is something that I plan to do this year. It is go to a lot more finance events and also bring you guys along with me. And then also reaction videos. So the last one that I did to the Jay-Z and Kevin Hart interview got a lot of views, and quite a few subscribers came off the back of it as well, so that shows that that kind of content is interesting to you guys. Let me know in the comment section what you think of that kind of content as well, but that is the kind of content I want to continue to create in this year. And then finally, side hustling is something I really want to talk about a lot more this year. I know I've done like income reports and things like that in the past, but I really want to bring you guys on that journey with me a lot more, so you can kind of see the behind the scenes and what goes into starting these different side hustles. And I also want to be testing out some of these trending ones as well. And I want to kind of debunk some of the myths around side hustles, because there's a lot of stuff on the internet that can get you into trouble. Buy this course and pay £800 and before you know it you're going to be a millionaire. All of those kind of things I really want to dive into that, and of course whatever else you guys want to see from me, let me know in the comment section below, and I can see if it's something I can include into my content plan for the rest of the year. Okay, so this question is not the kind of question I've ever received on my channel, but I'm going to answer it the best I can. It's, do you think churches need to do more in educating its people about money? So that's a loaded question, and I say that because it's very broad. There's so many churches, there's so many denominations, so many different people call themselves Christians, right, but have different sets of beliefs. So that in itself just says there's no one size fits all. So the straight answer to that question would be every church is different, I would say. So whilst one church may teach a lot about money, another church may not teach so much about money. So you've got churches that are preaching prosperity doctrines, and then you've got churches that are preaching poverty, and then you've got churches that avoid talking about money altogether. And then even when it comes to money, there's different interpretations and understandings of what the Bible says you should do with your money. So things like tithing, that's a taboo topic. I personally do tithe, but then I know so many Christians equally that do not tithe and don't believe in it. But I think in general, yes, I think churches can do more to talk about personal finance and to help its people to prosper. But then equally, I think everyone's spiritual journey is unique to them, and I think people do need to take responsibility for themselves and kind of diving into the word of God for themselves and getting an understanding that aligns with their own personal convictions and catching their own revelation on what God really wants you to do as a steward of the finances and resources that he gives to you. So hopefully somewhere in there's an answer to your question, and if there's not, definitely slide in my DMs and we can chop it up and have a deeper conversation on it. Equally, let me know in the comment section below if you have further questions. I'll try and expand on it in a further video. Would love to know your plans for maternity leave in terms of how your budget might change. So yeah, like I guess it's kind of similar to an earlier question I answered in terms of my budget definitely changing, and has already changed since before going on maternity leave. So I think failure to plan is planning to fail, and I think as much as you can plan ahead, because whilst you might say the baby came as a surprise, you still have 9 months between when you find out to when the baby comes to kind of start preparing financially for that new addition to the family. And that's kind of the position that we've been in, and we've been able to kind of start to prepare for that baby ahead of time. And I think going into maternity leave, it puts us in a bit more comfortable position in knowing that we have that extra buffer. But at the same time, there's so much more that I want to do this year. I want to go on holiday as a family internationally this year, and that's going to require a lot of finances and resources. And like I mentioned earlier, statutory pay just isn't going to pay for that holiday. So it's up to me to kind of be proactive in finding additional ways to generate income. Obviously, yes, my husband works, he works very hard and he's doing his thing, but equally, if there's things that I can do to support the family, then best believe I'm going to do that too. And that's where I am with that. Another baby question, oh my gosh, maybe I should do a whole, well actually that is something I want to talk about more moving forward, is like preparing financially financially for a baby anyway, so there's going to be videos on that. But if you have any specific questions relating to babies and finances, then leave them in the comment section below. But yeah, the baby question says, how much is your baby budget this year? My baby budget, I'm going to leave it for the baby budget video, so you're going to have to stay tuned for that. But it will surprise you that it's not as high as you may anticipate it being. This is my 4th child, so I know what the cost of a child really is versus what you may think it is and what social media may lead you to believe, because babies can be expensive if you get carried away and fooled by all these marketing ploys. But in actuality, they don't need that much to begin with when they start their lives. So yeah, just watch this space and I'll do a whole video on baby budgeting. So yeah, stay tuned and subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed, and hit that bell for notifications so that you get notified every time I post a new video, in case it's that video answering that question in more detail. Is there anything else you're doing to prep for mat leave and expanding your family? Anything else other than preparing financially? I think preparing mentally and spiritually, and praying to God that he gives me strength in order to raise these little kids, because yeah, being a mother is not an easy thing at all. Like, every child is so different. They come unique with their own personalities, their own needs, they're just different. They're not all the same. Like, even though I have all boys, you would think, oh yeah, once you've had one, they're all the same. But no, each one of them is very different and has different needs. And for me, it's just preparing mentally for the fact there's now going to be a 4th child who again is going to come with their own set of needs. And yeah, just being able to adapt to that new child, plus accommodate the fact that I'm going to have these 3 bigger children plus a baby, and how that's all going to look for my family is a challenge that I've willingly signed up to. So I'm not complaining, I'm excited for what's ahead. In terms of preparing like material stuff, yeah, listen, I haven't bought anything here for this baby, and this baby is coming pretty soon, and I still don't have anything bought for the child. But like I said, they don't need that much anyway, so long as I get a few baby grows, get the nappies and wipes and a bed for the baby to sleep in, I think we'll be good to go. So I'm not stressed just yet. Ask me again in a month's time and I might be pulling my hair out, but for now it's like, oh no, it's calm, we've got this. Managing money during maternity leave. So again, I do plan to do a maternity budget video, so watch this space for that. I will be sharing like what my budget looks like now I'm on maternity leave, and how to manage financially during maternity leave, cutbacks that I've made, decisions that I've made in order to be able to comfortably take that year off for maternity leave. So yeah, watch this space, all that content is definitely coming. And so the last question I've got here is, any cost of living tips as well as tips on traveling cheaply in this summer. Okay, so cost of living tips, I guess it's 2 parts to the question. So first part of the question, cost of living tips. Listen, I could do a whole video or series on that. Watch this space again, there's loads of content to come around cost of living, saving money when it comes to groceries, utilities, housing, and fun and entertainment, all those different areas that we have in our budgets, how we can make savings in our budgets in order to do these fun things without missing out, but equally in a way that is still affordable and we're not getting ourselves into unnecessary debt in the process. So yes, those videos are definitely to come. So without sounding like a broken record, subscribe and yeah, watch this space, and those videos will be coming over the next few weeks and months. And in terms of traveling cheaply this summer, again, I spoke about the summer holiday plans for my family specifically, but what I will also do is do a video generically about saving money on the summer holidays and things you could do, like travel hacks, so that you can save money this summer and have a great summer holiday but on a budget. I remember when I first started my channel, my slogan used to be, I'll show you how to live your best life on a budget. Even though I don't say that anymore, I will still show you how to live your best life on a budget. That's literally all the questions that I had for this video. If you do want a part 2, let me know in the comment section below. Leave your questions and I'll be more than happy to answer them in a future video. But that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you missed my last video where I was explaining where I've been, definitely check it out here or there or in the description box below. Not long to go now until the baby comes, and I'm very excited for this new chapter. I'm excited to be back on YouTube creating content. There's so much in the pipeline. Don't ask me how I do it all, I don't know. It is the grace of God, but yeah, I'm excited to be back. Stay subscribed, stay tuned, and I will see you on my next video.